Well, truth is the thing that will confront every one of those fears emotionally for you. Truth is the thing that will do it. Right? And that's very important to understand, that truth is essential for your future life and progress. And in fact, this is where you can have a desire to know the truth. Now, many of you have expressed a desire to know external truth. All right? Haven't you? Yeah. Otherwise, you wouldn't have listened for ages to God's truth, right? You've expressed a desire to know external truth. And external truth, have you noticed external truth sort of makes your heart glad, doesn't it? It makes you feel happy that you now know something that makes logical sense and it joins together and joins all the dots and answers all the questions. It really, really helps, doesn't it? And you notice it allays a lot of fears about sort of investigation of religious truth and so forth. It does. But the area where the majority of you really crash is personal truth. You don't have the same relationship with external truth as you do with personal truth. With personal truth, what's the feeling? No, that's wrong. I can't bear that. I don't want to hear that. No, I'm not listening to that. Right? No, I'm going to fight that. Isn't it? Very, very different attitude to the other in many cases. So let's go to Avira.
It's kind of a similar question to I asked before. Mm-hmm. In the fullness of time, most of the truth I've heard, I'm like, oh, thank God I was told that.
Yeah.
But my initial response is angry defensive.
Is defensive and angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do I, because I'm
Can I show you why it's defensive and angry?
Yeah, and I'm actually getting sick of it now.
Yeah, fair enough. And the person who's sharing truth with you are getting sick of it too, by the way. But let's look at why. The main reason why we react defensively and angrily is because our sense of worth is tied up in the truth, or in, let's call it, the answer, whatever the answer is, right? So what's happening is that you've yet to separate inside of yourself this connection between your worth and already knowing the truth. You believe knowing the truth is what gives you your worth. Now, a person who's at one with God doesn't believe their worth is linked to truth at all. The reason why they don't is they know that there's still an infinite amount of truth to receive, and yet they feel completely worthy. Right? Now, what the problem is on earth is that our worth is connected to what we believe is the truth. So let's just rub this out for a moment. And we really need to call that what? Our truth, don't we? And what was our truth again? Yes, fear. So I'll just write our truth. And I'll just put in what it really is, which is fear. And so what we're really doing is we're saying our worth is connected to our truth, or our worth is connected to our fears. Right? When you separate your worth from your personal truth, you no longer feel confronted with your emotional state when you hear a truth about yourself. You no longer have an investment in you being right. Right? So this is about, if you think about it, here we want to feel like we're right. Right? And we are invested in it. We are invested in our personal opinion being right. And this is where I see many of you make huge mistakes. You have huge emotional investments in your personal truth, which I see mostly as just fears, but you have personal emotional investment in it being correct. Because if it's correct, it means you're worth something. Right? It means you have validity. It means that you have knowledge, and it means that you have some value. Right? Now, a person who understands who really loves truth does not have a connection emotionally within them between the value, their personal value, and how much truth they know. Do you get that? A person who truly understands the truth and also understands worth does not have a connection between their worth and how much truth they know. You follow? So in other words, how much truth I know has no effect on my worth. Positively or negatively. Right? But for yourselves, most of you have a connection between how much truth you think you know and how worthy you are, how much worth you have, what your value is. So you measure your value by how much truth you think you know. Right? This kind of dynamic was set up usually in our school years, but sometimes beforehand, but definitely in our school years. Because your value as a student was gauged by how much you got accurately right, how much you knew in a certain subject, you see? So there was this relationship established during that phase of your life where you now believe your worth is connected to how much you know, right? And that's carried on through most people's adult life. That's why we're addicted on this planet to getting higher education in the form of university degrees and so forth, when you can see that there's a lot of jobs on this planet that need to be done and none of them require university degrees, right? But we're addicted to it because our worth is associated with what we know and even associated with the certificate that we get at the end of the day, right? This is a problem, but this problem causes you to respond very negatively when you're confronted with personal truth. You can see the relationship? As soon as the personal truth hits you, you're going, now my worth's being attacked. Now you're saying I'm not worth as much. You're saying that I'm not I can't be valued as much now. And so the average person feeling that gets angry. You follow? You get angry, resentful, resistive, because you haven't separated the connection between worth and truth. Yeah? Yeah. And I see that going on all the time. It's a terrible thing. It's taken Mary many years to get rid of that. So now she loves truth, but it's taken many years for her to get over this idea that her worth is connected with how much she knows. So every time you raise something with a person like that, they're instantly defensive, instantly want to attack you, instantly want to have an argument, instantly want to fight, right? Because of this association between the two. Can I just say to you, God does not care how much you know. God would like you to know everything God knows. But God doesn't care, He doesn't place your value upon how much you know. Right? See, many of you think making a mistake is the end of the world, right? God just feels, making a mistake, you're going to make a mistake because you don't know what He knows. To God, humans making a mistake is normal. You follow? When in terms of a practical mistake. The real mistake, which you're generally not worried about, is a mistake in love. That's when God thinks, no, there's a real mistake. Right? And for the majority of us, we don't value those real mistakes because we're more interested in what we know and what we've done, and whether what we've done seems to be what everybody else believes should be done. And that's how we view our life. So this is a big problem, associating our worth and what we do, right, with the truth, very, 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 it's a very damaging process to do that. And this is why many of you are very resistive to God's truth. Because you feel like whenever you hear it, you're just getting attacked. That's why, sometimes in the previous times when I've had a talk with you about certain subject, the whole mood of the audience, you feel it just goes, right? And that's what you're feeling there, the association between your worth or your value and the truth you're hearing. So you become very judgmental in that place, judgmental of yourself. And then, of course, because you don't want to judge yourself and it's a painful emotion, you project that outwards at other people. You attack other people as a result. You follow? So this is something you need to do if you're going to deal with this resistance to truth. You're going to have to disassociate the connection. You're going to break this connection between the concept of your being worth something only if you know something. Right, a little tiny baby in your arms, is it valuable? Well, you believe it is, don't you? If it's valuable, how can it be valuable under your definition? Because it doesn't know anything, does it? So why is it that this little baby who doesn't know anything is valuable, and then you as an adult who barely know anything more are no longer valuable? Why is that the case? Somebody joined what you know with what you're worth, right? Somebody did that. Right? So that's going to have to be separated. Yep, Barbara.